Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by
The Org Boss. The Org Boss is a residential and commercial organizing company that specializes in decluttering, interior design, inventory staging, business processing documentation, and more. Reach The Org Boss today at 832-617-0624 or send an email to info@theorgboss.com.
Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789.
What up? Hey, what's going on, my peeps? You already know what it is. It's that Startup Masters. And you will understand why I'm speaking like this very soon.
Very soon.
But I'm your girl, Kalia Guillory, also known as KG. You can hit me up on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram at KOG Speaks. But why I'm so excited? Is because
Why are you so excited?
we got the dopest podcast like in the land. Like I'm
Come
gonna
on.
go ahead on and put it in the universe.
Speak
Like
on it.
in the universe, you know
Speak
why?
on it.
It's because everybody in this studio has skinned up the knee to the white meat. Oh, we are
Come on.
team no white meat
Come
up in
on.
this joint because we already understand the struggles of being an entrepreneur.
We do.
We understand what it means to like grind in the dark. We understand everything there is. So if you thinking about starting up a business or you have a business and you want to just maybe revive it and refresh it a little bit, you have landed on the right channel. Like landed here. Gee, tell them why they need to
What's up?
stay.
Hey, for a bunch of reasons. Like that's all I'm gonna do right now. I want to give them a little teaser. What's up,
Give
good
it.
people?
Come
Welcome
on.
back to Startup Masters. I'm your co-host, Gary Lee, also known as G Hawkins. Of course, you can find me anywhere in the land: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. And you know, we try to bring great shows. We try to bring great and informative information to you. We try to give you what we call the business. We give you those things, those gems. We give you these nuggets of intellectual fortitude, the things that will take your business to the next level. It's serious business, folks, and we're here so that you don't make the same mistakes that we did, because there's a lot of mistakes at this table, but guess what? That's a recipe for greatness.
Come on.
We already started.
Come
we
on.
already started.
Come on.
But you know what? Let's
Listen.
just get the show rolling.
I'm
Am I
ready to
right?
dive in because you know
ready?
why our guest is so
Come on.
dope.
Come
Like,
on.
like this sister is so
Come
dope.
on, man.
She is the connection enthusiast.
Yes,
Okay?
yes.
And if you, my good peeps that are listening and watching, if they want to connect their audience through their content,
Come on.
Hold on
she
now.
is the one.
Hold
I'm
on now.
talking about the
Needle and
speaker,
thread, baby.
the author, the consultant. She pretty much wear all the hats.
All of them.
Our good friend, our homie. Please welcome to the show, Michelle Ngome.
What up, Michelle?
Connection enthusiast.
Yes, yes. That's your new tagline. Ngome.
And you gotta say it just like
yeah,
that.
we gotta roll that wrist.
And I kind
I-
of want to do like a little Z.
I'm
on
gonna
it.
need like a logo, like Ngome. Like,
Yeah, with a little twirl down there. Yeah, let
And
them
then you gotta
know.
put like a little.
Let
on
them
the
know.
end.
That stands for turnkey. That's
turnkey
turnkey.
solution.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes,
Come on.
that's what it
Hashtag
is.
that thing.
What's up? Hey, Don Paul, we see you in the building. You already know what it is, Don Paul. You already know.
Come on,
Yada,
Dr.
we see you.
Don.
Make sure y'all hitting those shares. But we want to we want to dive in with you, Michelle.
Yes.
We like to take people on this journey. We
Yes.
like, as we say here on the studio, we say here at this table, we like to hop in the DeLorean and hit 88 miles an hour going back in time. And we want to start from the beginning of you becoming this connection enthusiast to where you're at today and the solutions that you provide, and then fast forward into the future and taking a real good glimpse to the things that you've got coming down the pipe. You ready to go on this journey with us?
I'm ready.
Let's do it then.
Ready.
So, as we mentioned, we didn't put in our coordinates. We about to gas it up and take that drive back into the future. You like the way I said that? Back into the future. I got to shout out to the movie.
Come on, G. Come on, McFly.
That's an intermission reference. Y'all catch that on the way home. But take us back in time. What was going on in your life when you said, you know what? Not only do I want to be an author, not only do I want to be a podcast host, but I want to provide true content solutions for individuals. What was going on?
Yeah, so first of all, I'm very blessed. Thanks for having me. First of all, I have a career of finance background, finance degree, couple of degrees. I work for JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup, Invesco Investment Services, great career. And I was at Invesco Investment Services for a couple of years when I realized that I wasn't going to get the opportunities within the time frame that I wanted the opportunities.
Right.
Right?
I feel that.
And some of my white counterparts, they were going for positions. They were applying for the same position, interviewing for the same position 6, 7, 8 times. And there was like, I just couldn't see myself doing that. And at the time, I was like, I love it, but I've always wanted that freedom, right? And I think the first, one of the worst things for me is not saying everything I suggest is right, but when you're in an environment and you're recommending after recommendation after recommendation, it's kind of like you have that internal consultant vibe in you, and if corporate or your team is not taking those recommendations, it's kind of like, do I belong here? You know, is this a good fit for me?
Makes you question yourself.
It does.
Builds doubt.
And what else is out there? Or I can do this myself in this way, in this direction. Or how can I, if I have a company, what would that culture look like? And started building those things. So that was some of the, I like to say the entrepreneurial bug that I was getting around 2013. And I thought I did the right thing. I had money saved up. I was like 2 to 3 months. I quit my job on my birthday.
That's
Come
a
on,
present.
happy birthday. That's a
That's a
present.
present.
I always I'm gonna say it never fails. In September, I always go rogue. I'm either.
Well, what are you about to do on Monday? What's coming up?
Yeah, for real.
This
weekend is going
it
down.
never fails. I usually get jobs on my birthday or my birthday month. I'm quitting. It's always something. But anyways, I quit. I put a 2-week notice in, but I resigned close to my birthday, and I started my company, and I thought I did everything right. Had the money in my bank account, had the checklist, and all of that. But I think 2 to 3 weeks later, we had a death in the family, and it was like, okay, I was just naive about things, and whatever momentum I thought I had, it was lost.
Wow.
And I just kind of went through a downward spiral. Lost my apartment. I'm not going to say I was homeless per se, but we thug it out.
And we survived.
We thug it out.
We survived.
We figure it out real quick.
Hey.
And but at that time, it's just like my back is against the wall, and I was like, if I want to do anything, the most pressing thing was I need to write this book.
Okay.
And I wrote my first book, Network Navigator and Nurturer, and that kind of helped build the momentum again. One thing I kind of left out when I did start my business, and even now, it's just, I don't think we talk about it enough, but the cash flow. Everyone talks about revenue, but not cash flow.
Come on.
Okay.
So I had clients, but that cash flow was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So eventually I did go back to work, and kind of help minimize that, and wrote my book and all that stuff.
Sometimes that has to happen. That minor setback for the setup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because we
Absolutely.
forget that we got to pay for things in the business before we pay for things out the business, including us.
Exactly.
That is so real. And when I tell people, it's like I had money saved for my bills, but not for projects, right? And I wasn't what am I going to work on? I wasn't thinking about writing a book or maybe I need to purchase something for a client until the invoice or whatever that dynamic looks like. So those were some of the little hiccups that I was facing early on in the journey.
And what do you think, like, when you hit those roadblocks, looking back now, what do you think was necessary so that you would have been able to navigate around them more efficiently?
Honestly, this is a tough question for me. Part of me would say I would have stayed at corporate longer, but I work in the finance industry, and it's heavily regulated.
Yeah.
I was working in investments. So, they want to know your firstborn, your blood type.
Everything.
For real.
Everything.
Yeah.
And
163, 66, 66. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I had my Series 6. So I think within that industry, I didn't know how to navigate. I kind of felt like it was all or nothing. But I do encourage people, if you have a job, keep your job. Let that be your first investor. Finance your projects, because those little things start to add up. The domain, the hosting, whatever you're paying. I don't know, just these monthly $10 here and there.
It adds up.
It's like, where did this come
I know. But see, that was a gem for those that are watching. You sitting on your couch right now, or you're in your car and you're listening to this on SoundCloud or however you're getting this. What she said that I hope y'all caught was, if you have a job, stay at your job.
Stay at that bad
Because
boy.
you need to understand about the expenses, things that are going to hit your pocketbook as you build the foundation for your business. It's great to have a dream, but if you got $1 in a dream, you might need to add 1 + 1 or something. You might need to up those dollars just a little bit more before you step out. Because faith is great, but without works, it's dead, player.
Yeah.
It's dead.
It's dead.
Yeah.
It ain't no coming back from that bad boy. Because the thing that you said is, what we often forget and what we see is people quit corporate and say, I'm out of here. And then they pursue 100% of the entrepreneurship, but then they forget that they needed that corporate job to finance the dream. It goes
Right.
back to where you
Exactly.
were talking about.
Right.
And it really goes back to the organization of it, right? And I know we'll talk about this here in a little bit, but I wanted to share that this portion of the show is sponsored by our org balls.
Nice.
Have the clutter in your office or home space gotten out of hand? Or are you sick and tired of spending way too much time trying to find the things you need on a daily basis? If so, then give the org boss a call so that she can help you create organized, functional systems that match your personal lifestyle. The Org Boss is a residential and commercial organizing company that specializes in decluttering, home staging, interior design, space planning, inventory staging, and business process documentation for our growing businesses looking to formally document their processes and procedures. Call 832-617-0624 or email info@theorgboss.com. That's TheOrgBoss.com. Talk about bossing up your organization.
What up, V? Konnichiwa, Clinton. What's the dealie? He's over in Japan.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes,
Clinton.
indeed. Yes, indeed.
So talk to us a little bit more. I like to always rewind the tape a little bit further back and peel the onion a little bit more. And you talked about cash flow, because I think that's something that we really haven't discussed a lot around this table.
Very true.
And I feel like our viewers probably want to hear a little bit more about that as well.
Let's dive in.
Can you give us a deeper dive into cash flow? Like, if you could go back and rewind that tape, like, what have you done? 3 tips specifically to cash flow that you would do differently today with the knowledge that you have.
Well, first of all, people have to understand we're all going through cash flow, right? So your paycheck, that's your income, your expenses, that's your outcome. Now, regardless if your income is coming from a paycheck or from an invoice, the bottom line, income, outcome, cash flow, okay? So everyone is not suffering, but everyone goes through that. And I think lots of times people just isolate that to business when that's not true. All right, so just evaluate your situation. As far as things that I've done, I teach. I'm an adjunct professor, and I don't have a problem working. So that's been one thing. Outlining my personal expenses and my business expenses. Definitely have a business account for those things.
Keeping it separate.
Yeah, definitely keeping it separate. As well as credit cards, personal and business credit cards, keeping that separate. Try not to commingle funds. Also, not opening up your business account at the same bank as your personal account. Right? Separate banks, y'all, because you start transferring money. No, keep it separate. Separate accounts, separate banks.
Start transferring money. That's
No.
not,
You
that
know?
is not the Ngome way.
No, it ain't.
Okay. Okay.
No.
We don't transfer. Go ahead.
And then, honestly, getting your invoices out at a decent time, and trying to
So important.
explaining that to your client in the initial meeting or before you finalize and sign contracts, however your systems are set up. But like, okay, on the 30th or the 1st or the 5th of every month, this invoice is going to go out. You have 10 days to pay it.
Yep.
Or, or even the deposits, however your business is set up, just make sure you have that conversation with your clients. That way they know what to expect. Because lots of times you're sitting out this invoice and you're like, oh, you're thinking they're going to pay by the end of the day.
No.
And you got this
That
trip
ain't how
this
it go.
weekend.
No.
And it's like,
No.
That ain't happening.
No.
it's like,
Exactly.
it's-
Exactly.
And then sometimes you feel like you have that client that's like, okay, well, I know I can send the invoice and she always pay like in hours. And then what if that's that one day that she doesn't and
Right.
she still has that 5 to 10 day grace period? So you can't always depend that your clients are going to pay that day. So definitely want to have that conversation and then kind of also have that cushion for yourself on when you have those deadlines in place for your business and when bills are coming out of your business accounts.
That
as well.
communication piece is key. And
Yeah.
the other piece that you just mentioned, I hope you guys caught this, but it was the cushion.
Woo.
Like,
Wasn't it,
when we
though?
talk about the cushion,
Come on. Speak.
what I want everybody to get from this is that you have to apply for credit when you don't need it. Because the moment you need it,
That's the hook right
the
there.
banks are going to be like, no.
Yeah. That's
Hey.
real.
So get that cushion
Hey.
now. If you at that
real.
corporate job, before you leave that bad boy, you use that income. Because guess what? That income ain't going to be what it is, baby, when you start that 100% journey. to
Exactly.
Yeah.
They pulling them tax
Yeah.
tax
Hey,
certificates.
the bank's going to be
Hey,
like, we've seen a dramatic drop.
And-
your
and-
2017 does not match your 2016.
Does it?
And that's another thing. Like people kind of wonder, like, well, Michelle, like, I have a line of credit. I got a car last year. It's like I still got a job. Like,
I'm smart. I am
like I
smart.
still have a job.
I did this the
Like-
Ngome way.
And I'm gonna be honest.
Come
It's like
on, man.
I've been in business 4 years, but my business income hasn't exceeded my personal job income or whatever. So I'm not in a position to leave. But yeah. Keep your job and line everything up.
Hey, talk about it.
Ain't
Talk
nothing
about
wrong
it.
with being a corporate.
Hey, come
Ain't nothing
on,
wrong
talk
with it.
Hey, that's how it is now. Facebook Live, we love you. We adore y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Tantha, we see you, love. Make sure you hit that share button. Like we always tell you, we just give you roughly about 15, 20 minutes of the beginning of the show, but we've got so much more to dive into. So if you want to get the rest of this, and I know you do, you want these Startup Master gems that we're dropping on this table today with Miss Ngome. In order to get that, you've got to subscribe. So head over to the website, thesphere.tv/Startup Masters. We've got options for you. iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and of course, Stitcher for our techie folks. Now, while you're there, make sure to leave us some constructive criticism. We want to know how our show is doing so that we can better you. And of course, make sure you share this out. Share with your loved ones. Share with your family, your friends, your fiance. Share with your haters. I mean, just share it with everybody, anyone and everyone. Make sure you get this content out. And of course, last but not least, if you enjoy what we're doing and you want to sow into us because we're continually sowing into you, donate. Go over to the sphere.tv/donate. You've got a couple of options here. A single donation right on the website, and you can also do a donation via Patreon for those that want to do a continual donation. But remember, we're about to keep this train rolling for the rest of this content here on Startup Masters. Stay tuned because you do not want to miss this. All right, so let's talk about where you are at today, because obviously we've hit the cash flow, we've hit where you came from, we've talked about the designations, the changes you've made in life. What's going on today with Michelle? What are those products and services that you're bringing to the table, these turnkey solutions that people are sought after?
Yeah, so my main focus is speaking. So I like to be specific on content marketing and networking strategies. When it comes to the content marketing, whether it's speaking or the actual consultation. Basically, I always ask people, well, what's your number one problem with social media? They're like, I don't know what to say. You don't know what to say because you don't have any content, right? So I help people create and produce content, whether it's through podcasting, blogging, or video. Kind of help them create those ideas, walk them through that process, content calendars, all that type of stuff, the strategies and tactics around that. And then also the podcast, Networking with Michelle, available. You know, if you see Startup Masters, you should see Networking with Michelle in the same mediums. And those are the main things: speaking, consultation, podcasting. I was fortunate to write the book Network Navigate. A new book is coming out called Success Undefined: Reject Your Fears and Frame Your Success.
Ooh, we're gonna have to talk. Wait.
You went too fast.
She started like she just ran through that. Put a pin in that. Put a pin in that. Walk that back.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Unpack
Just
it.
give us the very thin cliff notes, the ones you steal out when you rip out and run out the library. Give us those.
So, Success Undefined: Reject Your Fears, Frame Your Success. It's all about how do you define success. And a lot of us, we have defined success based off of the society of our standards, whatever the society has presented to us
True.
as the
Very
American
true.
dream. And through this journey, I realized that that's not right. And in theory, we're all successful, right? In theory, but I don't think many of us accept the success that we have today, you know? So I walk people through the 4 fears: fear of criticism, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown transition, fear of failure, fear of success. And then I talk about how you need to define your success by developing skills, evolving gradually, forward thinking, invest in yourself, nurture relationships, and
That's okay. It's okay because it's a lot.
When can we get this book?
I'm thinking it.
Expect excellence.
I'm like, when
Expect
can we
excellence.
get a hold of this?
Yeah,
Oh.
so it's
This is
going to
rich.
be available on Kindle, Amazon Monday, and then printed copies.
Come on,
Monday.
birthday.
Hey, come-
That's what
this-
she
this-
said. That's
this
what she was.
She set it up.
a
She
gift.
set it up for
That's
that.
the Ngome.
It's the Ngome way.
I have a gift for you. No, but it's going to be free. Kindle, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there for free for a limited time, probably a week or so, and then go from there. But, you know, it started when I started my podcast in 2015, and I was fumbling across stuff, and I was like, man, you know, I'm interviewing some awesome people, and I just asked, like, how do you define success? And, you know, 130 episodes and 60 interviews later, it was like, hey, you know, I've just got all of these quotes.
Compiled it.
Yeah, so I put my little touch on there on my evolution of success, because it's like I'm successful right now, right? Regardless of what the Chase or the Wells Fargo,
Whatever they say.
Whatever they say.
They accounting practices
You
ain't
know?
right.
But I think
Exactly.
I think lots of time we get caught up in the money, and I take it back, right? Because I'm gonna be 35, but I'm like, I remember growing up watching Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, and it's like
in
having
cribs.
right,
Yep,
and I
yep.
talk about that, having those visions in my head when it's just like, wait a minute, what does success means? It means to accomplish a goal. Like I've accomplished several goals, and when we break it down like that, we are all successful in our own right.
I love it.
And I just want people to see that, to know that,
That's
and
important.
not to overlook that. You know, the money will
Self-fulfilling
come.
prophecy.
Yeah,
It
and the
is.
money will come.
Oh yeah.
It will.
Yeah.
It will. And it's so crazy because you think about us as a people, our race, right? Like how we have been successful for centuries, right? And yet we're still now seeing people winning awards, the first black,
yeah.
the first
Yeah.
woman. Like,
Yeah.
God, we've been successful for forever. And now-
Literally.
literally. And now society said, okay, now you're successful. So
Yeah.
I love that book and I love the concept of
Yeah,
it.
and I think what people have to realize is that, you know, as far as however you want to look at it, you know, money is a byproduct of the value that you bring, right? Love and happiness is a byproduct of what you bring to your personal, your intimate relationship. Money is a byproduct of what you bring to your business, to your clients, and as soon as we understand the value or raise our self-worth up in all aspects of our life, you know, we are successful, or we're able to receive that success. And that's another thing I talk about. You know, I remember when I was a senior, we had a speaker come out to our economics class, and he was like, something like, everyone can't handle success. And I'm like, what?
What you talking about? Food?
Sign the check. Sign the check. Okay, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how I handle success.
Yeah. I feel that. I feel that.
But the truth of the matter is, we're not all at a level of responsibility for that, because I know if there were certain things that I was giving them 10 years ago, Michelle Ngome would have acted a fool. I'm not going to act as much.
Okay.
But,
That's
it's
real.
just the truth of the matter.
That's so real.
And everyone talks about, I need more money. But then if we take this trip or buy a car and then we turn around and start complaining about the same job that provided you that income that you desired, it's like, then what? So it's a lot. It's a lot I've been discovering on this journey and through mentors and guests on the show. And I'm just trying to share that with everyone.
You've got a lot going on. Right?
I do. It's all up in here.
That's a good
And
place
you
to
know
have
what?
it.
And when Harvey came, it had me reevaluate my life. And I was like, I need to die empty.
Most people.
I need to die empty. I wrote this book in a week.
So wait.
Whoa.
I heard. Hold on. Die empty. DJ Jazzy Jeff. Are you familiar with Chasing Goosebumps?
Not that. No.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on the Chasing Goosebumps because he makes a statement in there.
This is a book?
No, it's an album. They took a week
Okay.
to put an album together. Him, the guy from Canada, I can't remember his name right now, but I'll drop it at the notes at the end of the show. But they put an album together in a week, and it was called Chasing Goosebumps. And one of the interludes, he talks about dying empty as an artist, as a creator. You don't want to die with all these things left inside of you, these ideas, these dreams, these visions. You want to die empty. You want to get it all out. So when you said that, like, you literally touched home, because I think that is such an important statement for those that are creators. You've got to die empty.
Like
you cannot hold
that
on to that.
Was so powerful, it brought tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's so moving. And if we all just work towards that, can you imagine how great our communities would be and our world would be? Jeez.
And I talk about my fears. Like, I'm not exempt from this. And I tell people, like, this is not a book on how to earn 6 or 7 figures and all fluff. Like, this is,
it's
me
deeper than
sharing
that.
the journey, because I'm not there. And although that's important, it's about sharing the journey, right? Right. And I'm like, success is continuous. Because it's a journey, it's not a destination. But I talk about my fears, I talk about my shortcomings, and I talk about how I've transitioned into preparing for legacy. I mean, so I'm not exempt from this. I'm learning and I'm sharing as I go.
The transparency.
Listen.
Hey.
That's the after show. That gem is mine.
The transparency is real. I gotta pivot to an ad break, and I don't even want to pivot to an ad break. It's
out the studio.
it's one of those type of things, man. But we gotta give our just due.
Yes.
And this particular portion of the show is sponsored by us right here at the Sphere. Are you starting your business or looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at the Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, will surely hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789, or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing at our ad space? Oh, you like the way I threw that? I threw that the Ngome way.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Come on.
She rubbing off on us on the table.
Clearly.
Rubbing off on us. So, I mean, hey.
Listen.
So,
I don't know. Go.
okay. You've given us so much. Let me just touch and agree. You've given us so much. Let's talk a little bit about the future. Let's talk about what Michelle plans for 5, 10, 20 years from now. You've done so much. You've been so successful. You've obviously excelled beyond the wildest dreams of individuals. But what do you have coming that's under wraps right now, but that's coming down the pipe?
You know,
By 2025.
It's so hard to say, especially, turning 35. The ultimate goal is to be an international speaker, thought leader, and Operation PhD has started. So that's in process. And, it's a tough situation because I do have a master's degree, and it's one of those things where I don't need, but I've always desired. So I think the good thing is I know I'm not going to be crippled if I don't get into a PhD program, but at least, have to put that effort in there. So that process has begun. I've applied to the PhD project, which is an organization that supports people of color to pursue PhDs in business.
Nice.
And then from there, I'm going to apply to some programs and we'll see what happens. Aside from that, it's just to be, a speaker. And what I've realized, it was just last year that I realized my purpose. My purpose is to provoke thought. And with that, it's really about me being able to just share my message, platforms like this, being a guest on shows, having my show, and getting it through the different mediums. And I really just want to impact and influence people on the importance of relationships and hoping that, right now, I would like to say, can I share my message to 100,000 people that are going to change the direction on how they manage relationships. That's the most important thing to me right now. And however I can do it, video, 60 seconds or 60-second keynote, I'm here for it all.
Dr.
Hey, Ngome. I smell it. I smell it.
It's in the air.
The aroma is strong with this one.
Now, we smell this strong aroma, okay? Like, you cooking up a lot of stuff.
Yes.
I am.
And what I want to know is, how is my buddy
Here it comes.
protecting her creative space?
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk
So
about
much
it.
so to where she could write a book in a week. She can put it in the universe that she wants to reach
Yeah.
directly, indirectly, 100,000 people, which
Yeah.
I'm thinking in my head, it'll probably end up being more than 1 million. But what are you doing for downtime to keep those batteries recharged, to keep that juju up, as Oprah would say, to stay in that zone or your
Yeah.
flow?
Well, first of all, self-awareness is key, right? Self-awareness is very important. Before you can do anything on any magnitude, you have to be self-aware, play to your strengths, and move accordingly. 2, I have a therapist. I've been seeing my therapist for about a total of 6 or 7 years off and on.
Listen.
Put a pen. Put a pen. So important. Put
We
a
gotta
pen.
come back to that.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
Don't we have another pen we gotta come back
Come-
to?
hey.
We might need a part 2. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm here for it all.
Sorry, go ahead.
Love my therapist. She's been great. She's been helping me out in so many aspects of my life, personal, business, across the board. Okay. And then, last week was a tough week. I worked 6 days. And on Sunday, I went to go get me a 90-minute massage, got me some froyo. I stayed at home.
Froyo.
I didn't answer the phone.
Unplug that bad boy.
Yeah, so it's just kind of, you definitely have to, turn the cord off, the phone and some other devices, or just binge watch TV or whatever. And I literally didn't do anything. I slept, and that's, massage and frozen yogurt, and it's a very happy day
That's what's
for
up.
Michelle. So it's a combination of things. But, I meditate. I don't meditate every day. I have a journal. I don't necessarily write in my journal every day. And I think once again, you have to play to your strengths. You have to figure out what's best for you. My podcast is very therapeutic, because lots of times I don't want to interview, and then it's like I know that interview is God divine, because that person is like, they share that message. And I'm like,
Oh, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I needed that. I needed that.
Oh.
And I went through that this week. I think I had an interview on Monday. He didn't show, but on Friday, I don't know, something. I had 2 interviews. One person didn't show, the other person, nuggets. And I was like, and I dedicated that show for Harvey. Well, not just Harvey, but Houston and Florida. So, and it's like, I thank God for this man's life, because we actually had to cancel the interview because of Harvey. And, so we did it last week, and it was just like, everything he said, I needed. Like, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know if this one's going to make it.
Tough out there.
It's like so tough.
I don't know. This one's gonna be available to y'all. I gotta listen to it a couple of more times. But I think those are just the little things, and I'm so grateful for the little things. I'm grateful for my downtime. I'm grateful when I'm in traffic, right? Because it's allowing me to think. I'm grateful for moments like this, because y'all don't have to have me on the show.
We do.
No.
We do.
It's been very clear of why we had to have you on
Exactly.
the show today.
Yes.
Thank you, and I'm
Yes.
humbled. And have struggles with my job or teaching, but I know everything is bigger than me, and and I mean I complain too. Okay, I complain.
We
I
all
curse
do.
like a sailor. I'm not perfect, but at the end of the day, I know everything is bigger than me, and I just thank God for the provision and for the sustenance of me, family, friends, and everything that falls under that.
I love it.
I received that. I personally needed to hear that, like today. I'm gonna tell you why. It's because I saw someone who I admire and I want to do business with today, and I saw them in the normal KG would have been on it, like, oh, I got to go up here and not necessarily pitch somebody, but just to strike up a conversation to get into what I really want to talk about. And today I woke up with I'm in the space to where I'm just gonna be, and it's weird. It was weird for me because I saw this person and I didn't even react. I was like, and I saw him multiple times. It was almost like I was being tried. Like, you need to go talk to this person.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, because I'm not in the mental space
And that's important.
to do this right now.
That's
And
important.
if it's meant to be, I should be able to see this person again. And just hearing you say that, it just solidified my actions today. So thank you.
And you're welcome. That's important. And I tell people, especially with my first book on networking, it's like, it's okay. You don't have to be on the scene all the time. Like, whether if you're at an event, take a bathroom break, get some fresh air, cleanse yourself, serenity prayer, or just stay at home. You don't know, because people fail to realize your energy transfers, right? So, and not saying that you were in a negative space, but you realize, self-awareness, that the time is not right for me to speak to this person.
And
if it's
that
meant
person
to
didn't
be,
seem like they wanted to be approached either. So I was like,
right.
That's a win-win.
And that's the
I'm
thing.
good.
And I mean, and like, okay, so what if you two were forcing it, right? And then forcing it so bad, both of y'all are turned off.
Yep.
Right.
Disastrous. For no need.
For
and no reason.
unnecessary
Yeah.
disaster.
And that's why sometimes you gotta be like, well, don't take it personal, right? For either party in this case. But yeah,
It's all good.
yeah.
You know what else is all good? Getting these finances in order.
Look at that pivot. Look at
All the
you.
time.
This portion
All
of
the
the
time.
show is sponsored by our good friends, the Houston Housewives of Finance. Did you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? 33% or more than 77 million of Americans don't pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month, and 39% of adults say they don't have enough in their savings. Don't become one of these statistics. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your personal and own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today, like right now, at 1-844-700-4463, or email us at info@thehoustonhousewivesoffinance.com. Ask us how you can participate in a complimentary financial literacy workshop near you. Houston Housewives of Finance are the new age of financial services, and I know this to be a fact because they're my financial advisor.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I just had to try to get my card over there too.
It was like
I
a
had
struggle.
to.
It was a struggle.
It was a struggle. The mic was in the way. I had to try to throw it over there.
Oh man,
Michelle.
Michelle.
This has been an excellent
Thank
display
you.
of transparency.
Thank you.
The fight for freedom, the push for excellence, and the true resemblance of success. So I want to say thank you so much for gracing the stage today. But before you leave, I got one last question
All
for
right.
you. Let's say,
Oh Lord.
let's say the adjunct position was gone. Let's say the book got erased.
Yes.
The MP3 files got corrupt. let's say the marketing time, the 10,000 hours spent all vanished overnight. But you're left with the idea, the remembrance of success. And you have to start all of this over again. We handed you some seed money, let's say $1,000 or so. What would you do differently this time around that you didn't do the first time you started this journey?
Ooh, that's a tough one. What would I do differently? Starting over?
$1,000 seed money. What would you do differently?
I think I have no job.
Not
No
that
job,
job, not
not
the
job,
adjunct
not the-
position.
God, that's funny. Because I want to say I would do it all. I would do it all. Like, I think I really would do it all the same. I would definitely start the podcast first, right? Instead of the book. I would start the podcast first because the people on the show are going to write the book for me. So
Leverage.
Listen,
Hey,
it's all about being strategic, baby.
you better know it.
Yeah, so I would definitely have the podcast first because the 3 things to a personal brand right now is having your own platform, having a message, and obviously the distribution channel for that, right? So I think all of that, pretty much the message would be the same, marketing, networking strategies, which is kind of Brian now with life and business strategies. Have the podcast. I would still write the book because the book is a selling point. It's a selling, whether it's free or not, just to get that momentum going. And that's what it's all about, y'all. When it comes to these projects, allow your projects to create momentum for you, because if they're not, you're not doing it right. You got to do something else, because when they write that bio or that byline, what are the results? What are the outcomes? I'm a podcaster, I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm in this thing. So that's what I would do. I would still have the podcast. I would create a new podcast, write the book, several books. And one thing I would do different, though, I would probably start my prices higher and then put that social component in there. I haven't done that very well. So I'll try to put that social component in there from the very, very beginning.
That's what's up. Gems
Gems
on
pricing,
gems.
adding another 0 to that bad boy.
Doing a podcast first.
and
People
then,
are
'cause
writing
that's
it.
My distro.
Talk about
and
it.
then
You got-
people, the message would be the people on the show, and then I'm gonna use them and leverage,
You leverage.
their platforms for my distro. Come on,
Yeah.
I can't drop it. It's too expensive. I'm just lift it up.
Lift it up, that's it. Hey, man, it's chess, not checkers.
Hey,
It's chess, not chess.
That's a
That-
gem.
I'm just saying, it's chess,
It's
not
chestnut checkers.
It's chess, not checkers. You gotta be
Anybody could
1,
jump
2, 3,
somebody.
4,
You got-
5
listen,
steps ahead.
It ain't a matter
Come
of I'm
on.
black or red.
Come
It's-
on, be 5 steps ahead. So,
Okay.
without, because the mics are smoking right now. Everything's smoking in the studio. Equipment's about to turn off. Michelle Ngome, we'd like to officially coin you, my dear, a startup master. Thank you so much once again. We appreciate you. Please let everyone know that's tuned in where they can reach you at.
Yes, Michelle Ngome, MichelleGngome.com. That is Ngome.com. Please go to my website, drop your email in there. If you do that today, this weekend, you will have a book in your inbox on September 25th called Success Undefined. Reject Your Fears, Frame Your Success. Podcast is Networking with Michelle. I like to say where we discuss life and business strategies with a little entrepreneur advice from Paul Brunson, Gary Vee, George Fraser. Been very fortunate. I need to return the favor. And check me out, MichelleGngome.com. Michelle Ngome on all the platforms, Facebook for the best stuff, Instagram for the cool stuff.
There it is. There it is. Separate but equal. No Plessy Ferguson in the
None.
No Plessy, baby. Where can they reach you at, KG?
My good peeps, you can catch me on LinkedIn, Facebook, the Gram. at KOG Speaks, so I can just get the thing
like, she going
out.
professional
KOG
LinkedIn.
Speaks. Yeah, you know, for my corporateurs out there.
For real.
For my folks who ain't quit that, don't quit that job now.
Quit it.
Don't quit it.
Gotta
Don't
try
you
to pay
do
them
it.
bills.
We gotta fight. We gotta fight.
Yes.
What about you? Where can they grab you?
Anywhere and everywhere at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, MySpace. We everywhere. Black Planet. We everywhere.
Listen, stop it.
The 1st and 15th at the
Hey.
post office.
Hey.
We everywhere.
Oh.
Hey.
Check me. We there.
PayPal.
PayPal. PayPal.me.
He about to say Western Union.
Western
in a second.
Union.
Hey.
We everywhere.
Which Fiesta I need to be at?
And
With an
rem-
extra zero.
Exactly, with an extra one. Now remember, if you got any questions about anything you've heard here on the show, shoot us an email, startupmasters@thesphere.tv, or hit us up via social media @thesphere.tv, #startupmasters. This has been another exciting
Another
episode. Another one. In my DJ Khaled voice, we will see you all next time. Take care.
Let go.
Peace.